Hey, welcome, and thanks for tuning in, covering real estate investment trusts. And I assume it took you about a half a second to figure out that's not me in the upper left. That's good old Benjamin Franklin. That's me down on the right. My name's Rob, and today we're going to be covering the benefits of investing in real estate investment trusts. Now, right off the bat, I just want to tell everybody that I'm not a professional investor or a stockbroker or anything like that. In fact, I think if I were a stockbroker, I probably wouldn't be able to post a YouTube video on real estate investment trusts. It would probably violate something. But I'm just your, average run-of-the-mill private citizen type. I do run my own company, and I have invested some of my own money in real estate investment trusts, and I've done pretty well at it. I think they're amazing, and so I just kind of wanted to share my thinking on REITs and pop this video up on YouTube. So REITs are publicly traded, just like stocks. And there are approximately 200 publicly traded real estate investment trusts in the United States, most of which are traded on the New York Stock Exchange. Okay, so I just want to cover why these things are so attractive as an investment and talk about their performance, their liquidity, the dividends, as well as the capital appreciation, but the dividends that you receive, and a little bit about diversification. All right, so let's start with number one. So performance. Now, with real estate investment trusts, you're actually making money in two different ways in the same investment. So they're capable of high dividends plus really good capital appreciation. And in the last 3 decades, they've outperformed the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Dow Jones Industrials. So as you can see, actually clearer this way. You can see that just on capital appreciation, 12.91% compared with the others there. But they're also capable of paying you dividends. So I'm probably going to do another video on how that actually all works. But the point is you can make money 2 different ways with real estate investment trusts. And to me, that's what makes them such an amazing investment. Also, liquidity. I mean, if you invest in actual real estate, that's actually illiquid. It's considered immovable. But with REITs, it's very liquid, which is a key benefit. Okay, so as far as dividends go, REITs tend to generate stable and very consistent income streams as a direct result of the fact that by law, all U.S. REITs must pay out at least 90% of taxable income to shareholders in the form of dividends. And REITs help you diversify because it's an asset investment type with yield and returns that are somewhat different from other investment types. All right, so here we have sort of the major categories for real estate investment trusts. And I'm not going to, I don't think, recommend one over another. I mean, I can tell you that a couple of my favorites happen to be lodging and office REITs. Some healthcare ones are really good. But I just want to go through these real quick. And if I mention a company, I'll use them as an example. I don't mean I'm necessarily recommending them. But office REITs, for example. Not all office buildings are equal, but they're rated and categorized depending on their location and their amenities. So there's like Class A, Class B, and Class C. So Class A office buildings are the best, and followed by Class B, which are most often in like suburban neighborhoods. And Class C are usually older buildings located in low-rent areas. So a good example of an office REIT would be Boston Properties, BXP. They own and manage many Class A offices in like Boston, Midtown Manhattan, Washington, D.C., San Francisco, and I think New Jersey. All right, so again, I'm not recommending them necessarily, but if you want to look into BXP, Boston Properties, check them out on the New York Stock Exchange. Now, industrial REITs, they're properties that engage in industrial operations like manufacturing, warehousing, and distribution. All right, so you get the idea. It's like, loading docks, high ceilings, surface parking, that sort of thing. And those are definitely worth checking out as well. I mean, you could look at East Group is one that comes to mind. Lodging REITs are really good. They consist of hotels and resort properties. They own premium or mid-scale, suite hotels and upscale luxury hotels and resorts. They own, but they don't directly manage the hotels or the resorts. And one that comes to mind is Diamond Rock. Diamond Rock Hospitality. I think they traded as DRH. That's a good example of a lodging REIT. So you might want to look into them. They're pretty big. Now, healthcare REITs. These are medical office buildings and some nursing homes and other types of healthcare facilities that are owned by healthcare REITs. So a REIT can own a healthcare facility, but it can never operate it. A big one is Healthcare Realty, HR. That's one great example of a healthcare REIT. So they own like inpatient rehab facilities, assisted living, medical office and outpatient facilities, and so on. And they definitely trade on the New York Stock Exchange as well. Next, you have retail REITs. These are, of course, shopping malls, downtown retail locations, upscale retail properties, and that kind of thing. The biggest one is probably Simon Property Group. You can check those guys out. They're on the New York Stock Exchange as well. Then there's mortgage REITs. They originate loans that are secured by real estate as collateral, and they derive interest from the mortgage and other fees. Hanover Capital is a big one. And let's see, they're on the American Stock Exchange, I believe. And let's see, residential REITs. You'll notice there's kind of a pattern here. Almost all of these are generating rental income, and that's kind of the key common thread here. But again, residential REITs, they own, develop, and manage residential properties such as apartments or condominiums, manufactured homes, other types of residential properties. And among the largest is the Apartment Investment and Management Company. I think they're AIV on the exchange. So they would like acquire, they would own, they would manage, they would redevelop all these like income producing apartment properties. All right, and they're on the New York Stock Exchange as well. Okay, so if you're interested in these real estate investment trusts, definitely check out the National Association of Real Estate Investment Trusts. The great resource. It'll give you a lot more information. That's all I have for you today. This was just a primer to either introduce you to REITs or maybe give you a little more information and hopefully send you in the right direction. I definitely believe in these things, and I hope you do well with them too. So good luck to everybody. Thanks for checking out the video.